My name is Guy and I'm the founder of Able, and we're making this video here to see how we can make the world a better place together. I think that a nice way to start this is bring in a subject that is not mainstream yet, but is a really beautiful theory about consciousness. I don't know if you ever heard about spiral dynamics of consciousness. That is a fantastic framework created by Graves, and then now like Ken Wilber created the integral theory out of this, and it's really fascinating. And we'll try to give you like a small introduction and understanding about this, because we're talking about consciousness here, about how we can get together as a community and make the world a better place, right? So basically this theory says that our consciousness is evolving in an individual level and then in a collective level, which means that you have a certain goal here in an individual way, and then you belong to a bigger group. And then after, you may be going into a direction that the group doesn't go, and they need to find their other way, right? So basically, this theory represents stages of consciousness in different colors and in different frameworks with different qualities. Let's say that it starts like 100,000 years ago, and the color from this state of consciousness is the beige, like the skin color. And in that stage, our ancestors, they were really primitive. They're kind of coming together to mate. They were in survival mode, and is you take care of yourself, I take care of myself. The male and the female, they come together. The female goes with the baby, and they never see one another again, right? And this state of consciousness was happening with us, and it happens with some animals. So it's something we can still see in the planet. But then, 50,000 years ago, something started changing. Some of these ancestors, they understood the benefits of getting together. So then is when you shift from this individual state for a collective state of consciousness. And this is what we call the purple state of consciousness with a tribal meaning. Okay, this is a really primitive kind of tribe, but they are together and they protect one another. So they can conquer better territory. They're not running all the time. And they don't really understand things like a thunder that is this mystery thing here. What is that? It's God, I don't know. So it's a little bit mystical and kind of doesn't make sense as we have science today and we can really understand what is there that back in the day they could not, right? But then what happened is that someone inside this purple tribe become so powerful that it shifts the dynamic. So it starts like 50,000 years ago and goes up to from 50 to 10,000 years ago, what we call the purple. And then someone in this tribe become a really important leader that maybe dominate others with fear or with power, and other people are submissive because this one is stronger or he knows something that the other members don't. So it creates this momentum in consciousness that is kind of like the Middle East, Sparta or Rome. You have the conqueror, Genghis Khan. So these leaders, they become super powerful. And this state of consciousness go from like 10 to 5,000 years ago when everybody bend the knee to this person. What happens is that this person in like after some time from 10 to 5,000 years ago becomes so powerful that society, the purple tribes say, hey, we need to organize this better. We need to create powers. And this is what kind of create what we have in the modern world as the monarchy, the army, and the religion. So we have this in Europe, we have this in many other countries. And it takes the power from this dictator, this violent red person, and distribute in the order of these schools. So you usually have the temple or the church becoming the house of healing, right? There's this medicine, this understanding of the somatic connection between emotions, mind, and body, and healing becomes something connected to the religion, right? If you go to the Egyptians, like all this mummification, this fascinating discoveries with anatomy, they were kind of connected to their religious belief. In the other part, you have the army because the tribes or the cities, whatever, they have enemies. So you need to increase your infrastructure with roads or fortress or guns, so you develop engineer and some sort of science in that way. And in the other, you're exchanging resources. You have these people creating coins or money or trading and borrowing money, and you have the commerce happening. And this state of consciousness started like 5,000 years ago, and goes up to the year 1700, 1800. There's not really a specific time. There's events that come and they influence the shift in consciousness, like the one we have nowadays with AI. And I think this is fascinating because I'm really optimistic about how the consciousness on the planet can thrive. And I hope Able is making a crucial part of this change for good. But going back, this blue organization become bureaucratic, become with order. And then Gutenberg comes and invents the press. So before that, all the knowledge, it was like manuscripts. It was in one of these schools. If you want to be a doctor, you need to learn with the one who knows how to heal. If you want to be an engineer, you need to learn. And you make this copy hand by hand. But now we have the press. So what happens is that someone from this school can get that knowledge and go to be entrepreneur by itself. And then they can move fast and do things better than with the weight of the organization. So it creates this explosion of illuminism and a new consciousness, a new thinking, like now Earth is not the center of the universe anymore. Now is the sun, or science is evolving. There's something more than us there. And then let's go to America. Let's go beyond what we know to conquer more, to learn more, to try new tastes, to try new medicines, new techniques. So it creates this wave that we call the orange color when the person wants to conquer and make more money, but not as a power of dominating people as this red consciousness that was primary to the blue. Now we have one that is more success-oriented, that is about creating status and feeling better than others. And it's kind of Hollywood, like these ostentations and showing off. And this is something we can see in the world, right? But what this kind of mindset is doing, it is destroying the planet. Because we're extracting more than the planet gives. And then what is the new consciousness emerging now with the hippie movements in this last century? Or, we have someone like Greta Thunberg coming and say, hey, how about our planet, climate strike? Yeah, this capitalism is destroying the planet. But do you think that making this protest and this sitting down in the front of the car and then stopping other people to go with their lives is the right, compassionate, empathetic way to increase the love and the consciousness on the planet? For me, it's not. It's lacking understanding. And the main thing is here is that all these colors, the beige, the purple, the red, the blue, the orange, and the green, they are in the first tier of consciousness. We can raise above that. We have the yellow and the turquoise levels of consciousness. And we think that Able is this business that is in between the yellow and the turquoise. And now we need to create our community. So if you resonate with one of these mindsets, if you want to have power, if you want to follow the bureaucratic rule, if you want to make money, or if you want to take care of the planet, it's kind of, imagine, we put 4 people together to create a restaurant. One person is a supermodel, can eat 300 calories a day. This guy is a bodybuilder. He want to get strong. And he only eats chicken and sweet potato. This other guy here, this lady, I don't know, they cannot eat peanuts because they have allergy. And this person here is vegan because they care about the planet. And you put these 4 people together and you ask them to create the menu of the restaurant. What do you think is going to happen? Well, the vegan will fight with the guy who want to eat chickens because he don't want to eat animal. The person who wants to eat gluten-free with no peanuts wants cheese, but the cheese is caloric, so the supermodels say no for that. And they keep fighting for one another. And this is what we have in the world today. Business competing, countries competing, and this is a really old paradigm that we can go over. And in order to go over this, we need to understand that the first stage of the second tier of consciousness is the integral thinker, is the person who can understand that all these different colors, they are partially right, but they are also partially wrong. And I think that here is a shift of consciousness from a mindset of black and white, like a borderline that just see one side or another, to a flexible qubit kind of logic, when things make more sense in a probability. So I think that a really way of getting if someone is intelligent or not is when they don't care more about an answer of yes or no, but an answer of how much. Because when you know how much, you understand limit. It's the same thing for plants. We learned that the plants need sun, the plants need water, and the plants need nutrient. But if you keep putting water in a plant for a month without stopping, is this beneficial? No, the plant will die. So we need to know the right amount. That's the mindfulness. You need to know the right amount of sun. We need to know the right amount of money. We need to know the right amount of sharing. We need to know the right amount of inspiring. So this video here is to inspire us to co-create circular economy, because with our choices, we are endorsing a system. So at the moment that we use our money to make the life of this fisherman better, of this farmer better, of this person, we make this energy to flow in our hands, in our community, and we stop giving money to this black hole of greed. There are the banks and these financial institutions taking everything from us. If you look through the history, taxes, they were really low a long time ago. Now people are paying almost 99% taxes in some countries, right? This is a joke, but I don't know, 60%, 40%, 30%. This is insane. We are working to sustain a corrupt, old, dated system. And then the question is, can we do better? Of course we can. But in order to do better, we need to understand these things here. And Able is the solution from a perspective of technology, understanding, and governance. So AbleNFT allow us to together finance projects that are good for the planet. So if you want to create a farm nearby your house, instead of getting all the risk and all the investment from the bank, we can put like 1,000 or 500 people together to finance with you, to guarantee they're going to buy, and that will also support you through in the hard times. Because that's how our people were doing in the past. They were getting together. And different places in the world, they have different needs. So maybe your place doesn't need a farm, but you can create a mushroom house, or you can create a chicken coop. And this is the thing with Able, because we need to shift our mindset from being consumers to being producers. We need to use the power of creation. Nature gives without limit. It's really easy to look to this tree, this mango tree, and count how many fruits you have there, but how many trees do you have in the fruit? And if we do that in a way that we are planting more for the future, we're going to create collective prosperity and abundance. But we need to shift our energy from fighting from these mangoes and channel this to creating more mangoes together. So AbleNFT is this platform where people can make investments in regenerative and educative projects, such as even coral restoration, like a $30 million project. We just need like the right marine biologists to come together and say, hey, we think that this way here is the way to shift the tourism industry, where people are not going to this island just to dive and throw plastic back, or to use this sunscreen and damage corals in a chemical way, changing the pH in the water. But yeah, these hotels here, they give a little bit of the profit for the coral project. So let's stay in this hotel. And then by doing this, we're going to force and put pressure for more business to start creating the circular economy. And in a way, that's the way for the extremely rich people to say, oh, people are not buying from me anymore. They're making things with better quality in artisan level and making the money to run with themselves. But in order to do that, we need the community together. So if you care about the planet, I really recommend you to go deeper into this spiral dynamics theory of consciousness, see what are the pains you have, and see how you can develop this integral thinker understanding that, yeah, it's really nice to take care of the animals, but in a way, all the water you drink, there's microorganisms, right? Where is the limit? You know, like there's no soil that works without earthworms. So instead of having this black or white, let's have a logic that is in the level of quantum computers. It's about probability. I have nothing against who eat meat or who doesn't. I think that the best is when we eat from a place of love and compassion and understanding. And that, you know, like for me, is like, what's more noble is you to be vegan and eat this vegan cheese that is made with cashew nuts from slaves in India, or eat this fish that is making this simple fisherman's family life better. So I don't really know how to really decide between one and another, but I want us to decide together, because I think that getting together is the way, and getting against is something we should avoid. This is how we can create the circular economy, is by people coming together, creating the products that we need in that location, making sure we are reducing the plastic, we are creating as much as we want, and we're making the profit to be reinvested. And this is the concept of syntropic energy, right? If you go for academic, there is a Beckymist and Fuller that create at least for me, one of the visionaries who created the idea of syntropic finance. So our financial system could be not sucking the poor people with interest and making the rich richer, but it could be co-creating a better collective distribution and circular economy. In order to do that, we need to come together and create our own ventures and agree in our governances, because we don't really need banks anymore. with decentralized finance. We are the owners of our own destiny. We just need to understand and put our trust in what we are co-creating and rely less and less on those things that can be taken away from us from different levels, right? So we are in this part of the human race where new technologies as AI are emerging and blockchain. So I think we have a path here that can be this dark castle full of thunders or this heaven on earth. And I think that the choice in between is the choice we do every single second. So I would like us to choose together to create heaven on earth. And I think that the way to do that is just for us to change the mindset from competition to collaboration and stop being just a consumer and being a creator. And if we create collective prosperity and abundance, we can create so much that we're never gonna have someone needing, because we have and we can share. We have more than we need. But if we keep fighting for resources, we're just gonna kill one another because there's no end for greed. But the beautiful thing is there's also no end for love. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you get together and we create a lot of cool projects, and that little by little the world will be better because we are making it better. Thank you.